Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be standing before you today. I have been fortunate enough to have lived a pretty extraordinary life so far. Growing up surrounded by my amazing friends, my family who's provided me with every opportunity I could dream of, and having the chance to be part of such a supportive community here. Throughout the past 17 years, I've had a few moments of realization that have contributed to who I am as a person and how I approach each and every day. However, these realizations did not dawn on me by way of one huge life-changing experience, rather an abundance of smaller ones speckled all throughout my life. It's not necessarily the experiences with the greatest magnitude that provide the greatest learning opportunities. Life sometimes requires a step back and a moment of reflection to have the strongest impact. Appleby College, where to begin? Well, to me, this is far more than just a school. This is my home, my second family. After spending the last 4 years of my life here, my love and appreciation has grown to a point I can't describe. Over the years, I've received such an incredible amount of support from both students and teachers, and can honestly say that I've developed the most on these grounds and will take nearly everything I've learned with me into my years ahead, wherever they may take me. Now I want to bring things back to grade 9, to when I first walked through these doors. I was standing outside the dining hall wondering what in the world I just gotten myself into. That's when I saw a group of girls standing in a circle talking to Mr. Van Ostren. They looked around my age, so what did I do? I walked right up and stood in silence directly behind them. I could sense some confusion, like, who is this girl and why is she breathing on my shoulder? But in that moment, they turned around and invited me to lunch. And little did I know that those girls would be my best friends and selected family for the next 4 years. However, it was not all sunshine and roses. Nearing the end of grade 9, things began to shift, and I started noticing the separation and very quickly found myself on the outside watching my friends continue without me. This lasted through the summer, and as much as it sucked being the outsider, I learned a lot about myself. I can't say I found myself or know exactly who I am now, because whoever does. We are always changing, and that's what makes us amazingly unique. But what I did learn over those few months is the importance of being okay with who you are, regardless of what others think. It's the small things like being okay with starting a hobby, expressing your love for something, saying what's really on your mind, or grabbing aux to play your favorite music, without the validation from those around you. It's being able to let your light shine through and allowing yourself to excel at something or pursue a passion without being concerned that it will look like you're trying too hard. It's being able to go to a co-curricular or club, regardless of whether your friends want to join or think it's cool. Be strong and independent and try everything you could possibly be interested in. I'm not saying you need to be without friends to practice this, that's just how it began for me. One of the hardest things is not losing yourself amongst your friends. Be you, and those who are right for you will love and support that. You don't need to change. Pretending to be something you're not is incredibly challenging to sustain. I know this sounds cliche, and I'm really not the first person to realize this or say it. However, hearing it is one thing, but applying it to your life and truly understanding it is something completely different. Now, those girls are my closest friends today, and they have been some of my biggest supporters and whom I share some of my greatest memories. There is no blame or hard feelings, however, I think it's important to share this story with you all. It happens to everyone at some point, and yes, it sucks, but you need to stay strong and try and turn it around and make it as positive as possible. Throughout that summer, I had one person stand by my side, and it really made all the difference. It made me realize that being me was okay. There are people out there who see beauty in everyone. Her family made me feel like family, and for that, I am eternally grateful. It's important to find people like that who are willing to display their strength and stand up for what they believe in, even if it isn't the most popular opinion, and hold on to them for dear life, because friends and family like that are rare. Although there is value in understanding who you are, doing what you love, and surrounding yourself with those who share similar interests, it's incredibly important to find those in your life who motivate you. This doesn't necessarily have to be a friend. It could be a classmate, roommate, parent, teacher, honestly, anyone who provides you with the drive to be the best version of yourself. And for me, well, that's my older sister, Maddie. If you knew our relationship, you would never find me admitting it, and through looking at my life and thinking about the important people in it, she's provided me with an incredible amount of unintentional guidance. Mads and I were never super close growing up. Her and Hill were the dynamic duo, and I was kind of the weird middle child, or as I like to refer to myself, the forgotten one. Maddie and I, at times, lived a pretty typical sibling relationship. I would steal her clothes, she would get mad, I'd say sorry, but it never stopped. It actually still hasn't. Whoops. But as I began growing up, I started noticing how strong, driven, and independent she is. When she sets her mind to something, she makes it happen and isn't afraid to do that on her own. However, I didn't always feel this way. There was always a sense of jealousy, which I never expressed. She's the pretty sister who had crazy good marks and went to a great school and has really done everything right. She's the golden child. But what I realized is that jealousy only hindered our relationship, and I didn't better myself in any way because of it. Once I recognized this, although difficult, I turned it into a motivator, and now she's one of my greatest inspirations. Not in the way like I want to become her, but it highlighted my possibility for success, and she has proved that through hard work and determination and setting goals for yourself, nearly anything can be achieved. There will always be people around you who appear to have their life together, or who excel at certain subjects or sports or the arts, nearly everything. But always remember there is someone they look up to as well. Instead of envying those people, be happy for them. Chances are they've worked incredibly hard to get there. Reach out to them and seek their help in achieving your goals. Jealousy merely takes steps back. It's a toxic feeling which provides no positivity in any way, shape, or form. But you can consciously change this mindset, which can make all the difference. I think it was homecoming weekend, and being the outgoing, friendly person she is, she randomly asked me for my number so she could call her Uber. Context to the story, I had never met her before, didn't have Uber, and had no idea how my number was relevant or even helpful in this situation, but I went with it. After that, she began stopping by my room asking me for advice, then to borrow my hair straightener, then my clothes, and at any point I could have been standoffish and given her the cold shoulder. But because frankly, I didn't even know her name until her fourth visit. But that just goes to show that if you're open, approachable, and don't fall victim to making assumptions, it opens doors to some awesome friendships and you can meet some amazing people. Another quick story I'd like to share. Let me set the scene. It's about the second week of December, and I had just left the dining hall and I'm waiting for my dad to drop something off in front of Bailey. I'm wearing my volleyball uniform, and again, it's snowing. So as I stand there braving the cold, I see someone walking from the arena, and then I continue my gaze in the opposite direction from my dad's car. I hear, "Hey, you look cold, take my jacket. I can stand with you until whoever you're waiting for comes." I'm not even sure if he remembers this happening, because I was essentially a stranger. I had seen him around a handful of times, and maybe we had spoken once. However, it stuck with me ever since. It was one of the sincerest acts of kindness I have ever received. It wasn't a display in front of others, and he had nothing but the purest of intentions. Everyone can be nice when it counts, and when others are watching. But what's important is being able to do the exact same things when no one's around. Don't hesitate to spread kindness. It doesn't require big gestures, just genuine intentions and a generous heart. Welcome to the beginning of the end of my speech. I know I just stood up here and talked about all the things I had learned, and in no way am I trying to tell you how to live your life or who you should be, but I think there is value in hearing what others have realized. I haven't lived through traumatic experiences or had to overcome any major challenges, and for that, I'm so lucky. But I believe I have learned some valuable lessons from the experiences I have lived, and I hope after this speech you take a moment to think about them and possibly apply it to your life. I would like to draw your attention to those special people sitting at the back. Mom and Dad, thanks for working so hard to provide me with every single opportunity. Whether it's university applications, school projects, or if my shoes match my jacket, I know I can always count on you, no matter how busy things may be. And to everyone in this chapel right now, whether I know you super well or not, thank you for making this year one of the most incredible years of my life and for being part of my family. I want you all to remember that you're amazing, both inside and out. Never be afraid to show your true colors and chase your dreams, regardless of how crazy they may seem right now. Learn to create your own happiness, and don't be afraid to share the love and try and brighten lives of those around you. This is high school, yes. And things may be rocky at times, but keep your chin up. Things will always work out. There is something to learn from everything you live through, experiences big or small, good or bad. So don't be afraid to take a step back. You never know what you'll notice. I'm going to leave things off with one of my favorite quotes. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Please rise and join me in singing hymn 418.